Hello and welcome to www.collectingluxurywatches.com, and today we're continuing the series Luxury Watches and Luxury Cars. This is part 2, and we've had a lot of positive feedback from series 1, so now let's talk about more watches and cars. So we've already said there some classic key watches like a Patek and a black Mercedes go hand in hand. And we've also considered some of the lovely sports watches can help pay for that Italian sports car when it breaks down. Let's have a look at some other really great classic cars and some classic watches, and let's make some assumptions, because it's always fun to stereotype people and watches and cars and make aspersions about what they are and where they're going in life and what the hell's happened. And so let's start with a classic. A classic Patek, a 3919. That's smaller than Archie's and about half the price of Archie's watch. A 3919 is the 33mm yellow gold Calatrava with the sub-second at 6. It's mechanical wind, and let's compare it to a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Yes, just like the Shadow, the 3919 is a little bit dated because it's actually a little bit small by modern standards, but it's still got that class and charm. You know it's expensive, you know it's dear. It's a Patek, for fuck's sake. It's got the hobnail bezel, it's got the Roman numerals, it's got the sub-seconds at 6. I mean, it's classy, it's a well-built piece. And just like the Rolls-Royce itself there, it's class. And the good thing is with the Patek and also the Rolls-Royce, when it comes time to service them, you'll also be left with, in both cases, with a very hefty service bill. Patek Philippe will charge you a fortune. Rolls-Royce will equally charge you just as much. So having the two watches together, you can complain about both things. And the one thing that you've got to appreciate is the handcrafted workmanship in both items here. The car and the watch. Perfect match. Both out of date, but both so beautiful. And that's the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow and the Patek 3919. Okay, let's start talking about obscene wealth. So after the Silver Shadow came the Silver Spirit and the Silver Spur, which was the slightly longer version. Audemars Piguet, Royal Oak, Offshore Chrono. I'm sorry to say this, but down the track, I think the Offshore Chrono will be about as dated as the Silver Spur. Yes, it was hideously expensive. Yes, it was hideously... It was the best in the world. Yes. But let's be honest. Does rubber really belong on a super expensive luxury watch? I don't think so. And just like this Spur you're seeing here, with its steel cap wheels, I think it's also going to be as dated. So that's my prediction. Silver Spur and Royal Oak Offshore Chrono, I think they're headed for the same way. So there you have it. That's Archie's opinion. Okay, unlimited money. What's the best chronograph in the world? It could only be a Breguet. A Breguet Ehrenvale. Look at this Breguet Ehrenvale. What would that owner drive? Any fucking thing he damn well wants. Like a Lamborghini Miura. The most beautiful car in the world. Have a look at this Breguet. I mean, does it get any better than this Breguet and a Miura? I mean, Jesus Christ. Life has been hard, hasn't it? Look at this. A Miura and a Breguet. I mean, I just don't think life could get any better. The Miura itself, what are they approaching? $1 million now for a good Miura? And the Breguet is just absolutely stunning. Just a gorgeous piece. And I don't think you could get a nicer chronograph than the Breguet. The Breguet's got a long history. Breguet is one of the leading... Okay, it's not a Holy Trinity member as such, but geez, it's certainly not far off it. Breguet. Napoleon also had a Breguet, and it's one of the all-time classic Swiss watches. I mean, the Breguet, they invented the tourbillon. I mean, what a name. Breguet is one of the leading brands in the world, and it doesn't get any better. My own opinion is the Ehrenvale is probably one of the nicest sports watches to ever have been developed, and it's what the serious money, just like the Miura is serious money, the Breguet is what the people in the know buy. And if money was no object, you'd buy a Miura and you'd also buy a Breguet. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality in life. We can't always have what we want, so we've got to criticise it and make other people. We've got to justify our choices by thinking that mediocrity is what we should all be aiming for. Going with that thought, if money was no object, what else would we buy? Well, we'd have to buy a classic Ferrari, and we'd have to buy a classic Breguet dress watch. Have a look at this gorgeous moon phase Breguet here, and look at the Dino 246. I mean, does it get any better? Classic Breguet on a strap. Well, not a strap. This is actually an 18 karat gold link bracelet. I mean, this is classic pocket watch technology, classic Breguet hands. It's Breguet, and when you drive a Dino Ferrari, you can wear any fucking thing you want. Who says you have to wear a stupid oversized Daytona or a sports watch? I mean, if you've got this sort of taste, you're beyond class. I mean, the Breguet's a Breguet. I mean, fuck, do you need to apologise for wearing a Breguet? I think not. The Breguet owner would have the Dino stickers on the 246. Why would he have to put Ferrari all over it? If you don't know what it is, just fuck off. I don't care. He's not there to impress anyone. He's himself. He's his own made man, and he's confident in his own right, and that's the reason for choosing such a beautiful piece as the Breguet. And it doesn't get any better than a classic V6 Ferrari Dino. What cars would be fantastic with unlimited wealth? Well, it doesn't get any more unlimited than a Ferrari Testarossa. That's right, the Ferrari Testarossa. And what would be a perfect match for a Ferrari Testarossa? You'd have to pick a Patek Calatrava on a gold bracelet. I mean, this is all original Patek. It's Patek Calatrava with a Patek bracelet and with an obscene Italian car. And retail replacement price on this Patek would be $50,000. The Testarossa itself there, well, you can buy a good Testarossa in Australia for about $100K, $150,000, up to $150. But my God, the V12, the repairs, the maintenance, you certainly would. You'd certainly need to have another 50 stashed up your sleeve just to run the fucker. Very beautiful car. However, the running costs, the purchase price is only the down payment. The long-term running cost would make an average man water. So, Ferrari Testarossa. It doesn't get any more sexy than a Ferrari Testarossa. I mean, there's new Ferraris out. There's Enzos, there's 360s. But the Ferrari Testarossa, for ball breaking, just good looks. And it doesn't get any more nicer than a Ferrari Testarossa. The V12, I mean, let's be honest, the V12 is the proper Ferrari. And buying a Patek Calatrava on a gold bracelet, well, it doesn't get any more spectacular than that. I mean, turning up when appearances are important, it doesn't get any better. Would you want red Testarossa or a black Testarossa? That's a very good decision. It's sort of like deciding what watch do you wear today. And Testarossa owners, I mean, you'd have a suite of luxury watches that you'd be able to pick from. But certainly the Testarossa itself is one of the all-time classic Italian Ferraris, and they're getting a bit long in the tooth. I mean, your Testarossas now, they would be what? You'd have to be looking at what, 20 years old now, wouldn't you, for a Testarossa? But it's just something about that early 90s sort of styling that Ferrari used there, and the Testarossa is just testosterone packed into a car. V12, can you imagine the rego? Can you imagine the insurance? Can you imagine changing the spark plugs? It'd all be hugely expensive, and you know, this is the great thing about making this video, is that I don't have to fucking run these sort of cars. I mean, I can just comment on them and walk away. But they're certainly an art to them. I mean, if you wanted to go the Ferrari hog, the Testarossa, the 246 Dino, I mean, there's some beautiful Ferraris. And if you're using a Ferrari, well, you'd obviously want to wear one of the best wristwatches available. You wouldn't want to wear one of these stupid commemorative Gerard Perregay Ferrari watches. No, you'd want a Patek. Simple as that. I mean, if you're going to go full hog with the Ferrari, you want to go full hog with a Patek Calatrava in all 18 karat gold glory. And it doesn't get much more classy than that. the biggest decision you'd have: do you use the black one or the red one? I mean, it's just beautifully done. And luxury cars, luxury watches, they're an expensive thing. Obviously, you'd have a luxury bird to go with that motor there. So there we have it, the Patek Philippe Calatrava with Ferrari Testarossa. Moving on a bit there, I want to focus on some more mundane sort of watches there. We've looked at certainly some extreme exotica, but let's have a look at some sports watches, because I mean, let's face it, the Patek is beautiful, but you want to have a nice sports watch, and it doesn't get any better in sports watches than the Breitling Navitimer. Now look at this gorgeous Navitimer. I've fitted it here with a nice yellow orangey strap, and look at that DB5 shooting brake. This is the very special car. Still a bit of exotica here, but look at that. The Breitling would certainly fit in with the DB5. Again, I'm moving away from Rolex. It's too passé. The Breitling, however, just captures the class of the Aston Martin, and just fits in nicely. I mean, you could turn up here with that busty blonde and equally have a nice lunch there in the country. Also, you could sneak in an Omega Speedmaster Professional with this DB5 shooting brake. Do you like the blue shark skin? No, I didn't either, but the owner doesn't give a fuck. These are some gorgeous sports watches with some equally gorgeous Aston Martins. The shooting brake, a personal favourite of mine, and ultra exclusive. Many times more expensive than the DB5 standard model, but very beautiful piece. And I think they're probably the most beautiful shooting brake ever invented. The DB5 shooting brake. Didn't look so good in the later models, but yeah, it was the shooting brake from Aston Martin. Now let's have a look at some more realistic bangers. That's right, what are we thinking? Cartier, gold Cartier, Louis Cartier tank watch, and an old roller, a smoky roller on a used car lot. This is Arthur Daly's sort of car lot you'd expect to find this piece. That's the banger, it is. The old roller, oh, it's burgundy, oh, it's seen better days. My God, what can you say, really? This banger has seen better days, and it's a Park Ward two-door coupe. This is before the Corniche came out to Series 1. Ah... If only he'd bought the Mercedes instead of the roller. The roller's looking very antiquated there. It's very smoky. It's, geez, I wouldn't like to own that roller. Could you imagine the repairs on that thing? Eye-watering. But look at the Cartier. The Cartier's kept time. It's modern. It's a bit small by modern standards, but it would fit in with that roller. If you own that Cartier and that roller, the Cartier would be the least of your problems. Keeping that roller on the road at that age there would be a horrendous thing, especially if you bought it from Arthur Daly's lot. I think, you know, Arthur Daly's definition of a service is a bit of a hose out. But yes, the old smoky silver shadow. Ah, look at that. On the car lot, ready to cause pain and suffering to the next unsuspecting consumer. Ah, look at that. It's cars like this that the Consumer Affairs was invented for. But with the Cartier on your wrist, I'm sure things would never be that bad. And it's amazing. Both of these pieces here were the epitome of style in their day, but now they've gone a bit dated. Let's have a look at a Cartier Basculant. This is a steel Cartier Basculant, beautiful blue strap, and will fit this to a Rolls Royce. Let's think, what should we fit it to? Rolls Royce Silver Spur. That's right. No, a Silver Wraith. It's a Wraith. This is the vinyl hooded Silver Spur with the extra foot in the back. And yeah, I think the Wraith is probably a little bit nicer than the Shadow we just saw there, the two-door Shadow, but it's still a mechanical mess to keep keep that banger on the road. And repairs that would be eye-watering with that 6.75 litre V8 up front. Still a push-rod engine. Oh, wow. Look at the basculant. I'm sure we could make exceptions with the roller. Look at that. Beautiful dark blue. And you've matched it to the strap on your Cartier. Does life get any sweeter? Is it any better? Is it any nicer? A Rolls-Royce silver spur and a Cartier basculant. Ah, look at that there. It's just the elegance and the charm. Mrs. Bucket certainly would be pleased. And obviously the Jaeger LeCoultre beats the Cartier tank basculant any day of the week, but that's not the aim of this competition here. It's to match up motors with timepieces, and I still think it'd be still a tasty motor to roar around the suburbs in, and sitting in the back there, winding your tank basculant. You couldn't think of a nicer way to spend the afternoon there after a good gin and tonic. And you just wind up your Cartier, relax, put on some classical music, and who gives a shit? Now let's look at some more Patek watches. This is a Patek 3944. That's the quartz Patek. Warren Buffett has a 3944, so it's not that terminal. And what sort of motor would he drive? Well, you'd have to have a Mercedes 600. I mean, I couldn't make a car video without bringing out some Mercedes 600 photos. Yes, the grosser Mercedes with the M100 engine. I think with a Patek 3944. What a life. Driving around the countryside until the air suspension shit itself, and the hydraulics started to play up, and bankruptcy was looming. But what a fancy way to turn up! And with the Patek 3944 on your wrist there, the fact that it's quartz would be the least of your problems. The 600 Mercedes, what a beautiful car. And, it's the choice of dictators in African nations and communists in China. Mao Zedong had about half a dozen of these 600s. And it's just a classy motor. And what a better watch to wear in the 70s than a quartz Patek Philippe. What a life. Thanks very much for watching this video. And don't forget to come to my website, www.collectingluxurywatches.com.